Even for myself and any other person I know who's seen this film, it's a little challenging to watch her because you see a little. I think a lot of people probably see themselves in Mary or see a fear of what they could become in Mary,
Yes.
and it's. I think it says a lot about the film and your performance that you can get so affected by it, so a little bit scared by it. And,
I think so. Well, especially if you know, if you're not of her age-ish and single and childless by choice, you know, if those things, if you're looking, I mean, I think the older you get, the more you do look to your future more, because you can't help but look at it, because because the future that you're looking at, you know, is shorter than when you were looking at it when you were 20 or 30. So I think that yes, there are I think a lot of people, women especially, I guess.
Yeah.
I think because there's that added thing of that very basic feeling in a lot of women, this need to have children, which is a very strong force of nature. And if you're gazing at later life, without a partner and without a child and without anything, it can be gloomy. It isn't always, but it can be. And, you know, Mary's friend is her bottle of wine, and it's not the life really that she saw for herself or wants, but it's the life she's got.
And no, because I think with Peter White's character, sort of interesting, showing the male
That's
counterpart
right.
to it.
Yes,
It's a different sort of sadness, but it's still in some way in the same direction or something.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, I mean, now that it's obviously it's played a lot of festivals and it's done that circuit, but now I mean, soon it's going to start going out into sort of the world.
That's right. It is. Yeah.
And I mean, what's from this collaborative process? I mean, what do you want people to take from the film, from your performance, from anything? I mean, what?
Well, I think people are finding the feedback so far is that, you know, people are finding it a deeply moving film, and it is, as I'm sure you can appreciate, it's quite a hard film to say what it's about, because it's about life and it's about all sorts of things, you know, love, loneliness, the need, fragility, relationships that work, relationships that haven't worked, youth, aging, how random life can be as to whether you manage to have a successful relationship or not. You know, I think there's any real you know, I think Mary is a kind of the sum total of her. She's the sum of all her parts, but she's the sum of all her parts because life's dealt her such a bad deal. And it just seems quite random, really, because she's a nice person. She's not horrible at all.
Not at all.
You know, she's tender and willing to give so much. But she's pretty, by the time you see her in the film, you know, she's a pretty battered and bruised woman, and that history has led her to behave in a way that at times isn't appropriate and to not be happy completely in her own skin. You know, if only she could just relax and stop wearing all the youthful clothes and all the pink eyeshadow and, you know, just kind of be the age she is instead of fighting against it, which she does because she thinks that's the way to kind of, you know, if she had the money, she'd be having Botox, God knows what, nip and tucks and eye lifts, nose lifts, chin lifts, face lifts. Not that I need any of that, of course. No. But she does. Or she thinks she does.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, when you were saying before, because I had to, maybe it was a month ago, I had to write some sort of like fall preview thing, and it was like towards the top of the list. It was another year, and I only had 3 sentences to tell people why to see it. I'm like, I could write either nothing or like 10 pages.
I know,
like,
it's hard, isn't it? It's,
yeah,
really hard. I feel for you, because it is hard, isn't it? You're right. You're absolutely right. You do have to either say an awful lot about it, or it's kind of, well, what is it about? Well, I don't know, really. Well, it's about 4 seasons. You know, you kind of, where do you...
Yeah, I found to just stop even trying to say what it's about, and just to say that, you know, it is so real, and you feel it so much, and that's essentially why, you know,
Yeah,
should
well, I
see
mean,
it.
you know, we're if you're trying to tell a story about the pain of life and how hard it can be for some people, and it's no good if it's not real from every aspect, not just the acting. I mean, we
Oh.
could do real acting and then, you know, have unrealistic sets and nothing look real, and, you know, overly scored piece filming. You know what I mean? You could have so many aspects of it could go wrong. We could have terrible costume designs and makeup that's all kind of blingy and nice, even though we're meant to be people who, you know, either don't wear any makeup or put it on, do it quite badly, like Mary does. You know, it's yeah. So every set of ingredients in the film has to be real.
For sure.
Yeah.
I guess finally, just specifically to you, I mean, what are you doing next, or what's your...
Well, I'm deliberately not doing anything at the moment, so I can do this kind of journey that Sony Pictures Classics are sending me on to campaign for it, and that's not unpleasant, and it's kind of feels a bit like a long-term investment for me. You know, it's the first time really I've had the opportunity to do it quite so fully. So I'm deliberately not working at the moment, but that will have to stop because I do need to pay my mortgage. So I don't know. There are things floating around in the ether, and I have a project further off next year, but that's kind of private at the moment because it's, you know, all of that sort of thing. But I'm hoping to open out a new area of work. I mean, I have a great career in England. I do amazing theatre there. I make films with Mike. I do very nice television work there. So it will be nice now if this film afforded me to come here and work with some of the good directors in America and, you know, have a bit of an American adventure. I wouldn't say no, as long as the scripts are good and all of that.
Well, I can't really see how it won't. I mean, I'm sure that you...
Well, who knows? I'm not 22, so it's, you know.
Still, people can appreciate good work no matter what.
Well, I hope so. Thank you. Thanks.
So, anyway, good luck